Hello, everybody. So, we've been receiving questions about our keto diet. One question that was asked is when you all go off of keto, Chelsea and I go off of keto, will you gain back all of the weight that you lost? And I wanted to give you an update on that because we actually did go off keto after successfully doing a keto diet for 4 weeks, which did help us lose substantial amounts of weight. We started the month of January, or not substantial, it's like a good amount of weight. We started the month of January at 145 pounds, and by the time, or I did, I forget what Chelsea's weight was, but before we went off keto, we ended the month at 143 pounds, which is about a pound and a half-ish a week, so it's not bad. So we lost 2 pounds, and then we went on break for a couple of reasons. One, we ended up getting sick, not from keto, just cold. And then at the same exact time was Chelsea's birthday. I started coming down with a cold on January 24th. Chelsea's birthday was January 25th, and we do a 2-day celebration. And then I ended up sick from the 24th until about the 30th of January, give or take. And in that time frame of nearly 7 days, diet fell to the wayside. Not because we're off keto and we're not going to do anything with our health now, but between the birthday celebration, which were 2 intentional cheat days, and then the 4 subsequent days, I was too exhausted to really be monitoring what I was putting in my body, and I was more concerned with making sure that I had adequate nutrition, and less with weight loss. I completely fell off of, we both completely fell off of working out, and then at the same time, work actually picked up, so there was no real room to sort of balance life back out between sleeping to get rid of the cold and working. So we went nearly 6 days without a diet or exercise, and hilariously put on more weight, and ended the month at a higher weight than we began. So we ended the month at 148 pounds. Again, I don't know Chelsea's weight. Technically, the last weigh-in was at 146.8, but I had 3 consistent days before that at 148, so that pound and some change difference is it could be water, it could be a lot of things. So I'm going to say that we ended at 148. So we were up 3 pounds from the beginning of the month. But that wasn't because we came off keto. That was because we came off of our diet and we came off of our exercise. So starting January 31st, I was feeling better, Chelsea was feeling better, so we reevaluated our diet. We did go off keto. Now we're just eating, trying to stay under 1,230 calories a day, and I will get into that. I know a lot of you are going to be like, that's not a lot of food. You're right, it's not a lot of food, but you got to listen to the whole thing. And the only macro that I'm really looking to hit right now is protein, because we are still in a very intensive workout cycle, trying to maintain and keep muscle mass, if not put on a little while losing, which is very difficult to do. So strength training is super important right now, and making sure that we have adequate protein in our bodies so that when our muscles do get tired, they have the fuel to rebuild themselves, and they don't start eating themselves for fuel. So that all being said, carbohydrates and fats, I don't really care right now. I'm letting it just sort of fall wherever it may fall, and already within a couple of days of data, it's split completely randomly on every day. There's no average that I could give you of like what it's doing. You know, one day it's a 50-50 split, one day it's a 60-40 split, one day it's a 20-80 split. Like it's been fluctuating. However, in the 3 days, it's January 31st, so we're at February 2nd now, that we've been back, we've already lost 3 pounds. So, and that's not because we're doing anything aggressive. Again, I know you're at 1,250 calories, doesn't seem right. But I'm going to go into that. So we've already lost 3 pounds, and I'm not on keto. I'm eating fruit. I had a couple of days where carbs hit like 95 grams. One thing we are doing, though, that's kind of more paleo, but it's not intentional, it's just preference now, is we are leaving out bread. It's simply not worth it nutritionally. Bread is nice, but for the amount of calories that it has in it, I would rather eat fruit and get all those vitamins from fruit that keep you healthy. I'd rather eat a ton of vegetables. Vegetables are so low in calories, and so some people are like, aren't you hungry? I'm like, nah, I'm eating a ton of veggies. Like, I should have taken a picture of my dinner last night. It was this beautiful medley of baked carrots and baked butternut squash and spring mix organic spring mix salad, and then like a good size, about 6 ounces of chicken on the side. And all in all, it came to about like a 500 calorie meal or so, and it was really filling. I was full for the night because vegetables. I don't know about other people. I hear that vegetables don't fill people up, but they fill me up. But I love veggies. So we are losing weight even though we're off keto. And we took out bread. We're staying away from refined sugars as much as possible, but in this society, it is very, very difficult to do that. And so we're not, like, if, say, a rotisserie chicken, for example, has cane sugar on it as one of the things that they use to flavor it. Before, when we were on keto, we were like, no, let's go to Whole Foods and grab the kind that's like just completely natural, if you will. It doesn't have any sugar on it anyway. And we were looking at, like, we couldn't eat honey mustard, and that just, it sucked, like, one, cane sugar aside, honey and maple syrup are delicious, and as far as I'm concerned, they're produced by nature, and therefore I'm going to eat them, because I don't think there's anything wrong with something that nature very naturally produces versus a refined sugar. So yeah, we've cut out those sugars, but we've kept honey and maple syrup, and we found monk fruit sugar, which is a 0-calorie sweetener that I love. It really does taste just like sugar, and it acts just like sugar. And in some ways, I actually prefer the flavor of the monk fruit sugar to sugar.
Yeah, it's the one thing that if I had $1 billion, I'd buy everybody monk fruit sugar.
Yeah, honestly, it's expensive though. And it doesn't come in large containers, but damn it, it's worth it. Good morning, Chelsea.
I feel very passionate about monk fruit sugar.
Yeah, that was the one you wanted to chime in on.
Yeah.
Feel free to keep chiming in. Yeah, so we got rid of bread, we got rid of sugar. We pretty much kept everything else. Like, we love cheese. We love fruits. Bananas have been nice. We put yogurt back in. One of the interesting things is, though, so keto is a high-fat diet, right? So we were buying, like, full-fat coconut milk and full-fat yogurt, and now, being on a lower-calorie, non-keto diet, we're actually doing whatever feels best. So, like, last night I made a curry with a 68% less fat coconut milk, but then I ended up putting 2 tablespoons of full fat sour cream in at the end for flavor. But that's because the sour cream richness was more what I wanted for the curry I was making than the coconut fat flavor. So I compromised one fat for another fat, actually, and that just comes down more to, like, I love cooking and I love playing with flavors than diet, and I just did it in a way that allowed me to stay within my caloric goals while still getting an amazing flavor. So, awesome there. Okay, so to address the 1,200 calorie issue, because I'm sure, again, some of you are like, wow, that's not a lot of calories. Remaining in a caloric deficit can be done in a multitude of ways. So while if Chelsea and I just sat around all day, which is never a thing we do, if we had a sedentary job, if we didn't hike all the time, if we didn't actively participate in a workout schedule, if we didn't do like 2-ish hours of yoga a day, then yeah, we would just be eating 1,250 calories a day. That would be it, because we wouldn't be doing anything to burn calories and create a caloric deficit. But one of the things I track on top of tracking my calorie intake is I track my exercise as well to see what I am burning throughout the day, and then I can eat that back. So if I am at 1,250 calories and it's only lunchtime, well, cool. Like, then we go for a 6-mile hike and we've burned, 800 something calories. Boom, there's dinner. Like, and I'm still at my goal of 1,250 calories. I'm not over. I'm not at 2,000 calories at that point. So exercise is something, it really is about diet and exercise. People who are like, oh, I lost all this weight and I didn't even need to exercise, sometimes they're metabolic freaks. Like, I'm not going to say that's not the case. But for most of us, we need both in order to be able to eat enough that's satisfying to us, one, and two, just to like maintain overall health. It's so strange to me when people just want to diet but they don't want to exercise. I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, we have been hitting closer to about 1,400 calories a day for the last 3 days. And that's because we have not been able to move around as much due to the weather. We are huge hikers. That's our primary exercise. And it's freaking icy out there, as you all know. And it's just not safe to go with the 3 dogs where we normally go. So we try to get out on the sidewalks, but that's, not nearly as entertaining. And we're doing yoga, but yoga doesn't, we only do yoga for 30 to 45 minutes at a time. And we can only do so many classes when we're trying to take care of our lives. And currently we're taking care of our family at the moment. So we don't have as much time to move around the last 3 days. So yeah, we're at closer to 1,380 so calories for the last 3 days, which is a small amount of food. And would I like to be eating more? Absolutely. But if I want to eat more, I need to move more. Yeah, I think that's about it. Chelsea, do you have any thoughts wrapping this up?
Well, I think my biggest question to you is, why did you pick 1,250 calories?
Wow, that's such a great question. Thank you. You're wonderful. Yeah, so, no, that's a great question. 1,250 calories is because where Chelsea and I have hit in our weight loss cycle is it's the hard last few miles. Her and I are down to the 26-ish BMI point, so we're starting to starting to get there, which is great, but it means that our body has less fat to burn. And so it's going to start holding on to what reserves we have left, because that's what our body needs to do, especially as women. That's what our body is trained to do. We also, since we've been eating so little for so long, our metabolism has slowed. I don't know that scientifically, like, I don't have any tests. It's just the research I've done is like, after you've been on like under 1,500 calories for about whatever amount of time they said. I'm sorry, that's not very scientific right now, but your metabolism slows down. So yeah, my metabolism's probably pretty freaking slow right now. And honestly, I believe it because I'm not hungry a lot. Like, I crave food, but oh, there's the dogs in the background. Everybody say hi to Sky. But I'm not necessarily hungry. I don't get hungry until like late into the afternoon generally. So we eat breakfast and then I'll eat lunch just like to tide me over, but I'd say I could probably go from 10 till 4 comfortably and not need food. Yeah. So 1,250 calories is due to a decreased metabolism and a decreased in BMI. And then the other thing that I didn't do, but I found the resource for, is your age, your height, and your current weight get thrown in to an equation. I had a online calculator do this. MyFitnessPal is what I'm using. And so I set the most aggressive goal, because I don't know how to live any other way, of trying to lose 2 pounds a week. And so with a goal of trying to lose 2 pounds a week, that means that I have to create a 2,000 calorie deficit a week. So in order to do that, I need to have a total consumption of 1,250 calories a day.
How long do you plan to do this?
Ooh, so this is such a fun question. My end goal, I want to tell you that my end goal is 120 pounds. My previous end goal was 135 pounds, and it keeps going down. The reason it keeps going down is because when I look at my progress on the scale as a number, and then I look at my BMI, I realized, whoa, like, I thought 140 was actually going to be like a 20% BMI, and holy crap, it's not. So I'm getting down to 145 now, and I'm still at like a 26 BMI, and I'm realizing that in order to get to a 20% BMI, which is my new current goal, it really looks more like 120 pounds. But my goal isn't to be like, well, everybody's body, what they want from their body is different, right? So I have runners who are very, very, very tiny because they need to be, because they got to go fast. And then I also have clients who are power lifters, and they're big, and they can be like big in a lot of ways. Like, they got bigger muscles, or they have more BMI because they need to eat to keep all of that musculature, because they're like benching like 350 pounds or some nonsense or whatever. Like, but that's a different athlete. And so the athlete that I'm striving to be is a calisthenics athlete, a yoga athlete. I want to be a athlete who is capable of moving their body around in time and space very easily, like a gymnast. And if you have a higher BMI, it's just harder to do. And so ideally, I'd actually like to be at a 15% BMI. I think 20% is reasonable between now and the summer. And in the summer, I tend to eat more because there's a lot of really delicious food tourism. And so but we also become way more active. Like, we're hiking all over New England. We're gonna try and go kayaking this year. So we're gonna be eating more maintenance calories this summer, and I just suspect that a 20% BMI is what I'm gonna be able to practically hit between now and warmer weather. So when people ask, well, how long are you doing this? I'm gonna do this until I look the way that I want to look and feel the way I want to feel. And so right now, my answer is I'm going to see how far I can get between now and warm weather. And Punxsutawney tells me that winter's ending early and spring's coming early. So
Woo!
I don't know. I might be off of this sooner than I think. Anything else?
No, that pretty much wraps it up. That was great.
Fantastic. All right. Well, if you stuck with us, thank you. And if you have more questions, please keep them coming our way. We will be sure to update you on our progress as we move through this. I don't know when the next update will be, but if we achieve anything landmark, we'll be sure to let you know.